Hey you guys! So today we're doing lesson 7 over lines, stanzas, similes, and metaphors. The learning goal for this unit is I will have the ability to identify and describe structural elements of poetry such as line, stanza, simile, and metaphor. So before we begin, you need to have out your reading notebook, glue, a pencil, and the notes for lesson 7 that are located in your work plan folder. If you don't know what they look like, I have them right here. They say they're the line and stanza notes and your simile and metaphor notes that look just like this. So if you don't already have them, please just pause the video and get them now. So first you need your line and stanza notes out in front of you. And anything that you need to fill in the blanks will be either underlined in red or the words will be typed in red. And please feel free to pause the video anytime that you need more time to write. Just take your time. So a stanza. A stanza consists of 2 or more lines of poetry that together form one of the divisions of a poem. So as you'll see in the example, a stanza in a poem is kind of like the paragraphs within the poem. So you see here, this poem has 3 stanzas. Stanza 1 is circled in green, stanza 2 is circled in pink, and stanza 3 is circled in orange. Next is a line. So a line is just one line contained within the stanza. So remember, stanza 1 that was circled in green. So stanza 1 only has 1, 2 lines. And here it says this poem contains 6 lines. So let's see. So this is talking about the whole entire poem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's a bigger view of the poem. So when you have a question, pay attention to what it's asking. So it may ask, how many lines does stanza 2 have? Remember, stanza 2 was circled in pink. Here's stanza 2. Stanza 2 has 1, 2 lines. Then you may get another question that asks, how many lines does the poem have? Remember, the poem has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Now you can set away your line and stanza notes to the side. And now we're going to cover simile. A simile is a comparison of 2 things by using the words like or as. Now it's time to get your simile and metaphor doodle notes out. You'll see that yours looks a little different than mine. You have blanks, so anything that is squared in red or typed in red, you will fill in the blanks as we go. So again, we say a simile compares 2 things by using the words like or as. And below we have some examples. So here's a picture of a clown. The sentence says, happy as a clown. So we're comparing happy and clown by using as, which makes this a simile. Next we have, they're like 2 peas in a pod. So in this one, we're comparing 2 things by using the word like. And then we have cute as a puppy. So again, we see we're comparing 2 things by using the word as. And here I added my own examples. So I have, I am as silly as a clown. So I'm comparing myself to a clown by using the word as. And another example is, this is as cold as ice. So again, we're using as to compare 2 things. Now moving on to metaphor. So a metaphor is a comparison of 2 things by stating that one thing is another without using the words like or as. So a metaphor does not use the word like or as. So again, you're going to fill in the bottom of your notes just like you did the top for simile. Again, we state a metaphor compares two things by stating that one thing is another. So here's some examples of what that means. Here it says, he is a lobster. So this sentence is specifically stating that he is a lobster. And as you see, it has a boy with lobster claws and a tail because this metaphor says he is a lobster. And we have two more examples. Her heart was gold. And then sadness is a black hole. So it's comparing sadness to a black hole by stating that sadness is a black hole. And then my own examples are Josh is a clown and my sister is a princess. So as you see, a metaphor does not use the words like or as like a simile does. It simply states that one thing is another. So just in case this is a little confusing, I have some more examples here and we'll go through them together. You do not need a paper or pencil, but if you want to write these, you can. So, here says, Miss Wright is as tall as a giraffe. So, as you can see, it's comparing two things by using the word as. I'm comparing myself, Miss Wright, is as tall as a giraffe. So I use the word as to compare myself to a giraffe. So since I use the word as, that makes this a simile. Next, we have, my house is a zoo when I get home from school. So does it use the word like or as to compare my house to a zoo? No, I do not. So, since there is nothing comparing my house to a zoo using the words like or as, that makes this a metaphor because I'm saying my house is a zoo. Okay, so now get out your glue in your reading notebook, fold your notes hamburger style, and glue one side of each note into your reading notebook.